DETV News is powered by DART, Delaware's transit service. Moving forward.
I'm Javier Horseman, and I'm here to talk about voting. In 2020, the American people voted to send Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to the White House. Since then, Democrats have delivered the lowest unemployment rate since 1969, 14 million new jobs, and 92% of citizens with health insurance because Democrats get things done for the American people. So this 2024, vote for Vice President Harris and Governor Walz and Delaware Democrats up and down the state, up and down the ballot. Your vote is your voice. Be heard on November 5th. You've got to vote. Check your registration in your polling place at ivote.de.gov. Thank you.
Tonight, a surge in early voting has prompted the Board of Elections to bring out additional machines. Plus, a baby powder recall has been expanded to include Delaware. And a 49-year-old Newark man was killed when he walked away from his disabled car on I-95. Those stories and much more coming up tonight on DETV News. Good evening and welcome to this DETV News Brief for Wednesday, October 30th. I'm Matt Ford. Here's what's making headlines today across the first state. The Delaware Department of Elections added voting machines at some polling locations to handle a surge in early voters. More than 27,000 people cast their ballots on the first day of early voting, about half the total early votes from year 2022. Locations receiving extra machines include the Hudson State Service Center in Newark and the Christina Crossing building in Wilmington, among other buildings statewide. As of Tuesday, over 112,000 Delawareans had voted through absentee or early voting methods. In Sussex County alone, 53,775 ballots have been cast. That's accounting for 26% of registered voters. Kent County has seen a 13% turnout, while Newcastle County is just over 9%. The statewide turnout is at 14.2%, putting Delaware on track to potentially exceed the 31.8% of voters who voted early or by mail in year 2020. Officials say while turnout has exceeded their expectations, there are no plans to open more early voting sites. That's due to challenges in finding suitable venues. Early voting runs daily now through November 3rd from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. If you missed the early voting period, don't worry. You can, of course, still vote at your designated polling place on Election Day, Tuesday, November 5th. On the topic of the election, with just 5 days to go before the official election day is here, we here at DETV are gearing up to bring you results and expert analysis next week. On Tuesday, Election Day, tune in live as DETV's Kerwin Gaines brings you up-to-the-minute election results from around the state of Delaware, covering all the important races you have your eye on. Our coverage begins election night at 9 p.m. Moving on now, in a bid to boost mentoring for Delaware students, Governor Carney and state officials introduced a new centralized mentorship program. According to Carney's office, the platform simplifies volunteer registration and training, launched with the Delaware Department of Education and Human Resources. The program lets potential mentors submit applications, complete standardized background checks, and training. A newly created website connects interested businesses with schools in need of mentors. Governor Carney emphasized the crucial role mentors play in students' academic and social development. To encourage participation, Delaware updated its employee policy, granting full-time staff up to 16 hours of paid leave annually for the mentorship. This initiative aims to enhance student support and increase community involvement statewide. You can reach the website at delaware.education.gov. And Delaware's Department of Justice is calling on landlords to remove illegal or unenforceable clauses from residential leases. In an October 22nd letter, officials urge landlords to comply with the state's residential landlord-tenant code, pointing to common issues raised in complaints from tenants. The department's Fraud and Consumer Protection Division receives thousands of complaints each year, often about lease terms that break the rules. Prohibited clauses include demands for attorney fees, early triggered late fees, and waiver of jury trials. Deputy Attorney General Brian Eng noted that landlords typically address issues once contacted. However, he highlighted the power imbalance between landlords and their tenants, adding it's important for those with the leverage to follow the rules. Tenants can report questionable lease terms as part of the Justice Department's ongoing accountability push. In other news tonight, the Diamond State Port Corporation is set to receive a whopping $127 million from the EPA's Clean Ports Program, a grant made possible by the Inflation Reduction Act. This funding will support projects at the Port of Wilmington and the under-construction Edgemoor Terminal. The Clean Ports Program, inspired by Representative Lisa Blunt-Rochester's bill, aims to make ports environmentally friendly and reduce pollution. DSPC's funds will go toward electric cargo handling equipment and new charging infrastructure. DSPC's chairman noted the significance of this support, stating that this grant will transform ports, helping improve environmental safety for Delaware residents. Blunt-Rochester called the funding, quote, a vital investment for cleaner, more resilient ports, emphasizing its role in creating good-paying jobs and fighting climate change. Turning now to some consumer news for you. Dynarex Corporation, a New Jersey-based company, has expanded its baby powder recall due to potential asbestos contamination. The FDA announced originally issued on September 18th. The recall now spans 35 states, including Delaware, and it includes an additional 373 cases of 14-ounce Dynacare baby powder bottles and over 600 cases of 4-ounce bottles. These recalled products were distributed across the country as well as being sold online, including on Amazon. Dynarex advises consumers to stop using the affected products immediately. Fortunately, no illnesses have been reported. For details, contact 888-396-2739 or recall@dynarex.com. And a groundbreaking ceremony for Reese Apartments took place down in Felton on Tuesday, marking a significant step in Delaware's affordable housing efforts. The project will bring 48 affordable and workforce apartments to Kent County, with the completion of an anticipated date of spring of 2026. Carson Development LLC, the state's only women-owned affordable housing developer, plans to offer residents free access to health, nutrition, and financial counseling services. Carson Development President Danielle Smith said, quote, "This isn't just about buildings, it's about creating opportunities and stronger communities." The project, which expands public sewer and water services in the Route 13 Felton area, could stimulate future commercial growth. Another groundbreaking took place Tuesday as a large crowd gathered in Georgetown to celebrate the groundbreaking of the new Sussex Technical High School. Joined by enthusiastic students, faculty, and community members, an alumna and school board member shared her excitement for the school's future, highlighting how the project will open up so many more doors for expanded programs and opportunities. Superintendent Dr. Kevin Carson emphasized the facility's impact, saying that it will support both day and evening students. Dr. Carson went on to say that they're just extremely excited about the new Sussex Technical High School and what it brings, adding that it will help meet growing workforce demands. Expected by 2027, the building will add classes, clubs, and opportunities for its students. And some sad news to report tonight. A pedestrian was fatally struck by a tractor trailer on I-95 in Delaware Tuesday night. The incident occurred near Newport around 9 p.m. as the 49-year-old Newark man attempted to cross the northbound lanes from his disabled car on the left-hand shoulder. According to police, a white Freightliner traveling on the right lane struck the man as he entered its path. He was pronounced dead at the scene. His identity is currently being withheld, pending family notification. The 52-year-old driver from Milford was uninjured. Northbound lanes were closed for about 2.5 hours for the investigation. And in other news tonight, a car crashed into an unoccupied house for sale down in Georgetown on the evening of October 28th, shortly before 5:30 p.m. Emergency responders arrived at the intersection of East Market and Kimmy Streets A 75-year-old woman driving a red Ford Expedition reportedly veered across the lanes, hitting two parked cars before the crash. She told police she briefly took her eyes off the road. No injuries were reported, and while alcohol is not suspected, speed may have reportedly played a role. This investigation is ongoing. And a petition to save Turtle Beach Cafe in Bethany Beach has gathered nearly 2,500 signatures. The downtown cafe is a staple on the boardwalk, known by many, and they learned late last week that its lease will not be renewed after 12 years. Representatives called the news just heart-wrenching, saying that they were given really no clear reason. The post on social media said that we're a thriving cafe filled with passionate souls. Turtle Beach lease ends December 31st, and it will not be renewed by Blue Surf condominium owners. Petition supporters praise the cafe as a, quote, beach town institution, and it's essential to local business. And with Halloween upon us, children darting across streets in search of candy can pose risks tomorrow night, October 31st. The Delaware Office of Highway Safety reports that pedestrian-related accidents are actually twice as likely on Halloween night versus any other night of the year. Officials urge drivers to stay alert and slow down Thursday evening as there's an increased presence of trick-or-treaters on the street. The Office of Highway Safety advises parents and guardians to ensure that their children's costumes fit properly and avoid masks that limit their vision or their hearing. They also suggest adding reflective strips or stickers to costumes for better visibility, along with carrying flashlights. Inside vehicles, officials warn against wearing bulky costumes in car seats or harnesses, as it can create extra slack in seat belts, thus increasing the risk of injuries. Heaven forbid there were an accident. And speaking of Halloween, let's get the official trick-or-treat forecast from our very own Shakara Denise, who's here live with us in studio tonight. How's it looking out there for the trick-or-treaters tomorrow night, Shakara?
DETV News Weather is brought to you by Real Life Prosthetics. Live life fully with Real Life Prosthetics. Your ability is our mission. Matt, it's looking spooktacular. Hey DETV fam, we are getting ready for a summer spooky night in Wilmington. Here's what's brewing for your Halloween forecast, but first let's talk about today. We had a nice warm day filled with spots of sunshine and partly cloudy skies with temps in the 70s. There was a slight breeze which made being outdoors very nice. Now the weather for Halloween will be unseasonably warm, reaching a high near 80 degrees under partly cloudy skies. It'll be calm with light winds, so no need to layer up the kiddos underneath those costumes. The night will cool down, but only to the low 60s, making it comfortable for late night trick-or-treating. And the next few days we will be in the low 70s, so stay spooky and enjoy the warm weather while it lasts. Back to you, Matt.
Looks like some good trick-or-treating weather. Shakara, thank you so much. We'll see you back here tomorrow evening for the weekend forecast. Also making headlines tonight, hey, check your tickets. Delaware has a new Powerball winner. That's right, a ticket worth 50 grand from an October 19th drawing was sold at a Wawa on West Main Street in Middletown. Matching 4 white balls and the Powerball, this lucky ticket is still unclaimed, so check those tickets. Delaware lottery officials say that the winning numbers for October 19th were 7, 16, 19, 45, 64, and the Powerball of 25 with a power play 3 times. The next drawing is Wednesday, October 30th. That's tonight with a $39 million jackpot up for grabs. Good luck. And during a city council meeting on October 28th, Milford officials unanimously renewed the lease for the first State BMX, ensuring the beloved BMX track would continue operating through the year 2029. Located behind Milford High School, the track has been part of the community since it opened in 2000. Kim Hill is president of First State BMX, and she shared that it's the only USA BMX sanctioned track in the first state, saying this place draws in people from all over the Delaware and even from Maryland, highlighting the track's regional appeal. Throughout the year, First State BMX hosts several large events and races that cater to a diverse range of participants. With ages spanning as young as 3 years old to riders in their mid-60s, Hill emphasized the inclusive nature of the events, making it a vibrant hub for BMX enthusiasts of all ages. And plans are underway for the annual community turkey drive, spearheaded by our very own Ivan Thomas and us at DETV. Thomas, founder and executive director of DETV, doubled his goal last year to give away 3,000 turkeys to senior citizens and needy families across the state of Delaware. Big Ives Turkey Drive and Giveaway will be held on Tuesday, November 26th, and includes stops at numerous senior housing complexes and community centers, including Boys and Girls Clubs of Delaware. Thomas took over the giveaway in 2023 after founder Norman Oliver passed the baton. The goal this year is to distribute 4,000 turkeys. Ivan says that we start with the belief that no one should be going hungry on the holiday, that goals fuel the entire process, from collecting turkeys with the help of our partners to giving away the turkeys with the help of DART First State. Distributions will begin at 8 a.m. in Wilmington and will continue throughout the day throughout the state to ensure turkeys reach families in need all across Delaware. Hundreds of volunteers support the annual drive to hand out the frozen birds, and numerous businesses and local leaders also participate. To volunteer or donate funds, you can simply visit BigIvesTurkeyDrive.com. We would love to have you get involved. And that's going to do it for today's edition of DETV News. Don't forget to follow us all across your favorite social media platforms for a look at what's happening all around the great state of Delaware. And of course, if you have a comment, question, or news tip, send it our way. We want to hear from you. Our address is press@detvch.com. For Shakara and all of us here at DETV, I'm Matt Ford. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.
Hello, my name is Eugene Young, and I'm here today to talk about voting. In 2020, the American people voted to send Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to the White House. Since then, the Democrats have delivered. The lowest unemployment rate since 1969, 14 million new jobs, 92% of citizens with health insurance. Because Democrats get things done for the American people. So this 2024, vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz and the Delaware Democrats across the state. Your vote is your voice. Be heard on November 5th. You've got to vote. Check your registration and find your polling place at ivote.de.gov. Thank you.
We don't talk about prostate cancer enough, and it's the most diagnosed form of cancer and the second most common cause of cancer death among Black men in both Delaware and the United States. Approximately 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime, but just by asking your healthcare provider if you should get a screening could help you detect prostate cancer early and save your life. So let's talk about it. Talk to your healthcare provider today about a prostate cancer screening if you are 40 years of age or older, or have a family history of prostate cancer. If you don't have insurance, or if your insurance doesn't pay for cancer screenings, Screening for Life may provide you with the screenings that you need, and Nurse Navigators make this process easier. To learn more, visit healthydelaware.org/prostate or call 211. Ask your healthcare provider about a prostate cancer screening, and you're asking for so much more.
Hi, I'm Thea Lopez, and I'm here to talk about voting. On November the 5th, we can make history, but the Democratic Party needs your help in order to make it a reality. By voting for local and national Democrats, you have the power. The power to elect the first woman president. The power to ensure the rights of women stay with them regarding their bodies. And the power to protect BIPOC and LGBTQ+ communities. Your vote is your voice. So be heard on November the 5th. You gotta vote. So please check out your registration and find out your polling place at ivote.de.gov.
My name is Jason Aviles, and I am the founder and owner of Fly Yogi, and I'm here to share with you some tips to be able to help fight opioid addiction. Opioid addiction is a real growing problem here in America. And I'm here to share with you some tips that you can be able to integrate into your everyday life to really fight against opioid addiction. One of the first things is redeveloping your mindset. One of the practices that I like to use daily is meditation. And what meditation does is it brings you clarity of mind, and it helps keep you grounded, and it improves your ability to make decisions that you are going to benefit from. A lot of the time we find that addiction is rooted in our mindset. It's rooted in how we think and how we perceive, and therefore how we act. So this is a really good way to help fight against that energy of addiction. The second thing is improving your lifestyle through diet and exercise. At the very root of addiction, there is substances within the body that's causing the addiction on a physical level. When we begin to introduce healthier foods, plant-based foods, we begin to remove and detox the substances that are in our body that's causing and attracting the addiction. So through incorporating more fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, and even drinking water on a daily basis, you're going to put your body in a state where it's going to be able to fight the root causes of these addictions. The second part is exercise. Exercise is good for mood. It's good for energy. It's good to increase vitality. It's good to get your heart pumping and get your blood flowing and get oxygen moving throughout the body. So through engaging in physical exercise, complemented by incorporating healthier foods, you're putting your body and your mind in a state where it does not want what's causing these things that are manifesting negatively in your life. So addiction can really be decreased by just incorporating a healthier lifestyle through diet and nutrition, exercise, and then also making sure that you're tackling the mind through mindset, through meditation.